Welcome to this video on the psychology of humor. Humor is a universal language that has the power to bring people together, break down barriers, and make us feel good. But have you ever stopped to think about why something is funny? What makes us chuckle, chortle, and even guffaw? That's what we're going to explore in this video. The psychology of humor. We'll dive into the different theories behind what makes something funny, the benefits of laughter, and even the dark side of humor. So, whether you're a fan of dad jokes, stand-up comedy, or just need a good laugh, stick around because we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of why we find things funny. What is humor? Humor is a fascinating and intricate aspect of human experience that's not easy to put into a neat box. At its heart, humor is all about finding something amusing and enjoyable in what we encounter. But here's the catch. What tickles one person's funny bone might not have the same effect on someone else. That's what makes humor a bit of a puzzle to explore and understand. It's highly subjective, meaning different people find different things funny. Not just that, humor can also change from one culture to another, and even from person to person within the same culture. This diversity is what makes the study of humor tricky, but also incredibly interesting. Different types of humor. Understanding humor can be quite tricky, but researchers have managed to identify various types of humor that people generally find funny, regardless of their cultural backgrounds. Some of these humor types include slapstick, satire, irony, and more. Slapstick. Humor mainly relies on physical comedy, where exaggerated actions and bodily movements are used to generate laughs. Imagine a classic scene where someone slips on a banana peel and tumbles in a comical manner. That's slapstick humor. Satire. On the other hand, uses humor to shed light on and critique societal issues. It often involves the clever use of irony and sarcasm to make fun of certain aspects of society or individuals. This form of humor helps us reflect on the flaws and absurdities of the world in a light-hearted yet thought-provoking way. Irony is another type of humor where the speaker says something that conveys the opposite of their true intention. It's like saying one thing, but meaning something entirely different. This creates a humorous effect, especially when it catches people off guard. Beyond these examples, there are many other types of humor, each with its own distinct characteristics and style. Some jokes may be wordplay-based, while others might involve clever puns or absurd scenarios. The beauty of humor lies in its diversity and ability to bring joy to people in various ways. The role of context in humor is heavily influenced by the context in which it is presented. What might be funny in one situation might not be in another. For instance, a joke about a serious topic like death might not be appropriate in a formal setting, but it could be perfectly acceptable and even enjoyed in a casual conversation among friends. Moreover, the cultural background of the audience also plays a significant role in what is considered humorous. A joke that resonates with one culture may not make sense or have the same effect in a different cultural setting. To truly understand why certain things are funny and how humor can bring people together, it's essential to pay attention to the context in which humor arises. The situation, environment, and cultural factors all contribute to the interpretation and enjoyment of jokes and comedic moments. By recognizing and appreciating these contextual influences, we can better comprehend the power of humor in creating shared experiences and fostering connections among people. Theories of humor is a fascinating topic, and various theories try to explain why we find things funny. Let's us break down some of these theories. Incongruity theory. This theory suggests that humor arises when there is a difference between what we expect to happen and what actually happens. When something surprising or unexpected occurs, it creates confusion or tension, and when that tension is resolved, we experience laughter or amusement. Superiority theory. According to this theory, we find things funny because they make us feel superior to others or situations. When we laugh at someone else's misfortune, for instance, it can give us a sense of satisfaction or superiority. However, this theory is not perfect, as humor is more complex than just feeling better about ourselves. Relief theory. This theory suggests that humor serves as a way to relieve tension or anxiety. When we are stressed or overwhelmed, laughing can be a way to release some of that built-up tension and make us feel better. Benign violation theory. Humor can also arise when something seems to violate social norms or expectations, but in a way that is harmless and not threatening. When we encounter such situations, it confuses us a bit, and that confusion is then released through laughter. Why do we laugh? Laughter is something we do naturally when we find something funny or amusing, but it's not just a random response. There are several reasons why laughter is essential in our lives. Physical benefits. Laughter helps reduce stress and tension, which is good for our overall health. It can lower blood pressure, boost the immune system, and even give our diaphragm, abdominal, and facial muscles a mini workout. Psychological advantages. Laughter improves our mood and makes us feel less anxious or depressed. When we laugh, our body releases endorphins, which are chemicals that make us feel good and relaxed. Evolutionary perspective. Laughter might have evolved as a way for humans to bond with others and show positive emotions. It also serves as a coping mechanism to deal with stress or danger by releasing tension and making situations feel less threatening. The dark side of humor is a wonderful thing that brings joy and connection to our lives. However, it also has a darker side that we need to be aware of. Sometimes humor can be used to hurt or exclude others. Hurtful humor. When jokes are made to bully or belittle someone, they can be really hurtful and cause damage to individuals. Offensive humor. Some people find humor in things that others might find offensive or hurtful. While some argue that this is just pushing boundaries and being edgy, others believe it reinforces harmful stereotypes or attitudes. Power and privilege. Humor can also be influenced by power dynamics. Those with more privilege might use humor to reinforce their status and exclude others. Jokes that perpetuate gender or racial stereotypes can be problematic when used irresponsibly. While humor can enrich our lives, we must be mindful of its potential to harm others. By understanding the impact of our humor and being thoughtful about the jokes we tell and enjoy, we can contribute to a more inclusive and compassionate society. Conclusion. Today we've explored the fascinating world of humor and its psychological underpinnings. We've talked about the different types of humor, the theories that explain why we find things funny, and the physical and psychological benefits of laughter. We've also examined the dark side of humor, including its potential to harm and exclude others. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.